Hi there, and welcome to this short introduction to SwiftySite, the new user interface for WordPress. WordPress is an amazing platform that powers over 25% of all the websites in the world. But its user interface is not very user friendly. It's a bit like the remote control of a television set that has over 40 buttons, but in general, you only use about 6 of them. Non technical people have a hard time figuring out what all the buttons are for on the remote control, as well as in the WordPress admin area. They just want to create and maintain a website fast and easy. So, a makeover of the WordPress user interface, or even better, a complete rethinking of the user interface, was long overdue. The Swifty team has put in over 25,000 hours of thinking, designing, and building an all new, fast and easy way to build and maintain websites with WordPress. It's called SwiftySite and it's available for free in the WordPress repository. Now, my guess is you know how to drive a car, right? But you probably don't know in detail how the engine of your car works. Well, it's the same with your website. You can think of SwiftySite as the car and WordPress as the engine. You don't have to understand how WordPress works in order to be able to create a website. Okay, let's have a look at SwiftySite, shall we? The first thing you'll notice is that after logging on, we don't see the WordPress admin area, but the clean and non-intrusive SwiftySite bar at the bottom here. Makes sense, right? Why go to look at an engine when you can just start the car and drive? Now, of course, if you want to have a look under the hood of the car, you can. You can switch to WordPress and add a plugin or modify a shortcode or do whatever you need to do and then switch back to Swifty, and everything will work beautifully both ways because SwiftySite is fully two-way compatible with WordPress. We believe the website should be the hero, so the user interface should be modest and non-intrusive. For instance, when you want to add content to a page, most page builders cover the page with pop-ups in which you have to type text and then save it and then switch to the preview to see how it will look for your site's visitors. It takes a lot of going back and forth to get it right. Well, with SwiftySite, you can see what your visitors will see while you're editing, which is much more intuitive. A lot of users think of a website or a web page as a letter or a Word document that has a lot of text and here and there has an image with the text wrapping around it. In SwiftySite, you can create pages like this. And in fact, you can have the text wrap around any content element, not just images. However, modern websites or web pages are built with rows that have one or more columns which contain content like text, icons, videos, and such. And with SwiftySite, you can create pages like this as well. In fact, we even provide you with a lot of content templates that you can easily insert into any page of your site. A huge time saver because now you only have to swap out the demo content with your own and you're done. It will all look good in minutes, not hours. Of course, SwiftySite is fully responsive. You can even work on your content in tablet mode or smartphone mode and actually create your site to be mobile first. Now, Google loves websites that are responsive and that are fast. Let's see how a SwiftySite page with some big images and parallax effects like this one scores in Google PageSpeed Insights. Isn't this exciting? Whoa, 95% on mobile with a 100% score for user friendliness and 96% on desktop. Not bad, eh? The reason Swifty sites in general score very well in Google PageSpeed is because we optimize a lot of things underneath the surface. For example, you can upload an 8 megabyte image, drop it into a page, grab it by the corner and drag it to the right size, and SwiftySite will make sure that the image is saved in the right sizes and that each visitor is served the optimal image depending on device and screen size. And that's just one thing. There are many more, but again, you don't have to know how the engine works, right? You just want to drive the car. Let's switch gears for a moment and look at another thing that SwiftySite does way more intuitively than standard WordPress, and that is adding new pages. Now, WordPress originally started out as a blog system, and it later evolved into a system to create full websites with. But the way WordPress handles pages is still pretty much the same as the way it handles blog posts. You can sort them by date created, by author, and alphabetically, which is understandable for blog posts, but not so much for website pages. And when you create a new page here, it doesn't show up in the site menu. No, you have to define the pages that are in the site's navigation menu somewhere else. Quite confusing, and so it's no surprise that a lot of non-technical WordPress users don't understand why the page they just created doesn't show up in the site's navigation. Needless to say, this is one of the things that needed fixing. All the more because it's a core feature that any user needs all the time. So let's see how this works in SwiftySite. Here you have all the same pages as we just saw, but in a so-called page tree overview. The pages you see here are the main menu pages, and these here are the submenu pages. You can create a page in the right spot in the page tree by clicking the plus icon, and you can even drag and drop pages to rearrange them. When we switch to the website, you'll see that the navigation menu is identical to the page tree overview. Now let me go back for a second to show you one more thing. You can choose to hide certain pages in the site's navigation menu. This is nice for landing pages. You know, when you have an ad campaign running on Facebook or Twitter or AdWords, those pages connected to those ads don't need a header, a footer, or a sidebar because that will only distract visitors from taking the desired action. And here in the Swifty Page Manager, you can choose which of these areas need to be shown and which need to be hidden. Yep, it's pretty cool stuff, but also very easy. Now, I can almost hear you think, cool page builder, check. Cool page manager, check. But how can I create a cool design? Well, we've got that covered as well. With SwiftySite Designer, it's not just a theme, it's a theme generator because you have maximum freedom to create almost any design you like. By clicking the Change Design button, we go to the SwiftySite Designer. Here you can define almost all aspects of the design of the website, such as the layout, the style, the colors, and for each area, you can define how it should look and if this area needs to be shown or hidden. Even details like the logo and the fonts for your headlines and the text can be tweaked to your liking. It's actually a visual and pretty intuitive way to define the style sheet for the website. It saves a lot of time as well because designing a website is no longer done in Photoshop, after which the design is given to the developer who then has to build what the designer has designed. Now you just design the site while building it at the same time. When the design is done, the site is done. Huge time saver. So this is SwiftySite, the new user interface for WordPress that lets you create beautiful websites fast and easy. It's fully two-way compatible with WordPress, and this means that virtually any wish can be accommodated. You can go to the WordPress admin area, but most of the time you don't have to. You can create pages where the text is the hero and have the text wrap around any of the content elements. Or you can build pages by adding rows and columns. The fastest way to build pages is by using the built-in content templates and complete page presets. You insert them with a few clicks, and then you only have to swap out the demo content. Pages are added quickly in the page tree overview and can be dragged and dropped into position easily. The site's navigation menu is automatically generated from the page tree overview, and you can create almost any design thanks to the built-in theme generator. And because the site is built simultaneously while you're designing it, it saves it a lot of time. This new user interface makes WordPress a whole lot easier and in fact unlocks WordPress to a very large audience of not so technical users, such as small business owners and volunteers of small nonprofits. SwiftySite is available for free in the WordPress repository, and it has a few optional in-app purchases that will make your life even easier. Please give SwiftySite a try and let us know what you think. Thanks for watching!